All right, here we go. What's up in the VulcanVerse, everybody? Welcome to Pyre Moonshot, episode 2. Today we are going to just crack the beer. So we're gonna drink a little beer. We're gonna talk about land in the VulcanVerse. Last episode, we talked about the Pyre token, and land and the Pyre token have a very unique relationship, as in the more land you hold and stake, the more Pyre rewards you get. So one thing that a lot of us have noticed is Pyre and land tend or should rise together. Now, it's not always true. Like, for example, when Pyre hit its all-time high of $44, land prices, the floor dropped a little bit, down to 400, 500, but typically 500 is kind of like the floor level, historically, as long as I have been paying attention. Again, I talked about in the last video how when I first came in, I kind of bought land at like an all-time high level in Pyre, a piece in Arcadia I bought for 1,200 Pyre, but then after that, I was able to procure land for 500, got some for like 600, and so on and so forth. So it does change over time, but not that much. There's not as much variance in the land pricing, in my opinion, as there is in some of the other valuable NFTs in the Vulcan marketplace, such as Vulcanites, Berserk cards, gods, and whatnot. And the reason, and one of the things that we've always been saying, a lot of us have been saying on the marketplace Discord, is that the reason that land tends to be more stable is because of that unique relationship between land and Pyre. Again, holding land will get you rewards in Pyre if you get it sowed to level 2. And this is a pretty timely episode, because here we are. I think it's today's the 10th of February, and the CEO Jamie has said that land staking will begin this month. We're not exactly sure when, but sometime in the middle of this month, which is February is a short month, so that should be coming up anytime. Another thing that I should state is that a lot of these numbers I'm going to be giving you today are the best estimates or guesstimates from, kind of OG members in the VulcanVerse community. There's going to be a little bit of variancy in the actual numbers because we don't know exactly how many lands are going to be sold to level 2. The total of landowners can go up since a lot of these estimates have made, but we're going to be close. And the overall FOMO and bullishness that we're going to get into still maintain. We the one thing we know for sure is that there's 10 million Pyre set aside over a 4-year period, and those are going to be dispersed as rewards to VulcanVerse land holders who have at least 10,000 XP, and they become a level 2 avatar. And then the land that they have also has to be sowed to level 2. So we'll get into that. You can see the backdrop here. Again, I'm always going to do these videos assuming that there might be a few of you who have no clue what VulcanVerse is, what VulcanVerse land is, what the Pyre token is. Maybe you just came upon this for some reason, but you're looking at the land map right now. So there are 9,000 something plots of land. And if you buy a plot of land in any one of the 4 quadrants, the 4 quadrants are Boreas, Arcadia, Hades, and Notice. So each piece of land is able to be staked as long as you earn 10,000 XP. So once you get to 10,000 XP, you qualify for staking rewards as long as your land is to level 2. And we'll get into that, what that all means. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the presentation that I did, and then we can get into it here. All right, I put my glasses on because I'm an old man. Take one more sip of beer. Cheers. All right. I mean, we're gonna call this one "Stake It Till You Make It" by owning land in the VulcanVerse and collecting your Pyre rewards. Once again, if you want to dig deeper and read a lot of this information, please read Jap's articles or go to the Discord. One thing I like to do, and how I did a lot of research in this video, is you'll just type in kind of land or staking into the search bar in the Discord, and you're going to get countless discussions about it. You'll get a lot of the OGs talking about it. You'll get the CEO Jamie talking about it. So again, these are, as far as we know, the numbers that I'm going to be giving you are accurate. Okay. And we should have concrete final information here in the next few days, again, according to Jamie, the CEO. So here we go. Stake it till you make it by owning land in the VulcanVerse and collecting your Pyre rewards. Okay, so total number of land NFTs currently is 9,287. The total amount of landowners currently is 820. And again, I pulled a lot of recently on the Discord, AG and Lumpy Land were having a discussion about it. So I took a lot of these numbers from their discussion because it was the most recent discussion. And if when you go a little bit further back and you watch land discussions and staking discussions a month back, 2 months back, it said, and then coinciding with Jap's articles, this is, I feel like this is going to be as accurate of information as we can get. Okay, so staking rewards lifetime. Okay, 208,000 Pyre per month for 48 months. And this is from the 10 million number that was set aside. So VulcanVerse team set aside, there's a 50 million total supply of Pyre. That's the total supply, 50 million. Of the 50 million, 10 million of it were set aside for staking rewards for landowners. So that's where you're getting the 208,000 Pyre per month number. It's just divided out of the 48 months. After 4 years, this is very important as well. So you might be watching this and saying, okay, well, great, but what happens in 3 years and 6 months when the staking rewards are coming to an end with the initial Pyre set aside? Well, the good news is after 4 years, land staking will continue with a currently accumulated pool from marketplace fees, DEX fees, Elysium fees, lava burning from land upgrades, etc. And there's probably going to be more things that are going to fill that pool. It is absolutely in the best interest of the Pyre team and everybody involved in building out this project to make sure landowners are happy. And Jamie understands this as much as anybody. This is why, like I mentioned in the last video, he's been telling everybody as many times as possible to get more land, buy land. If you have land, you're going to be set because land is the most essential NFT in the game. There's several different NFTs, but land is the only one. Land in Vulcan. Again, we're going to have Troy is coming out, I think February 14th, just like 4 days away. They're going to do the land sale for Troy, which is going to have a lot of the capabilities of VulcanVerse. You're going to be able to build, terramorph your land and all that stuff, but you're never going to be able to get rewards from your Troy land. VulcanVerse land is special in that way. It's absolutely essential to the entire, it's kind of the core in my opinion, because what's nice about being a landowner in the VulcanVerse, and then, obviously that develops into a community of landowners in the VulcanVerse, is we are all financially incentivized to stick around and become OGs, right? There's already a lot of OGs here, but when you see some of these numbers we're going to get into, and again, I mentioned in the last video how I got into owning land was reading Jap's early articles about the possibilities. He went in and explaining how he thought that land was going to have an insane APY. He did a little bit of comparison with the Axie land and kind of how that system works. And again, well, I have his article pulled up here if we have time, again, because I'm planning on trying to make this video about a half hour. So that means an hour from now, I'll probably still be ranting and talking. But if we have time, we'll get into his article and look deeper. But if we don't, please make sure you read Jap's article about the land and all his other articles. All right, so the 208,000 Pyre per month is kind of important. That's what we're going to know is going to be the main number dispersing all the rewards to the various landowners there. All right, there we go. So I said, consider the potential for these rewards to run in perpetuity as the VulcanVerse, Elysium, and the Vulcan debts add more and more users. F-gas fees are extremely lucrative for miners, and I expect the Vulcan Forged gas fees. Now, notice I said Vulcan Forged, not VulcanVerse, because Vulcan Forged is much more than just VulcanVerse. VulcanVerse is its main flagship game. Obviously, that's where you own the land. But as well, you have Berserk, which is, like I said in the last video, one of the most addictive card games you could ever play. If you want to know more about Berserk, I highly recommend you go watch all of Lumpy Land's videos. He does, I think he's got like 4, maybe even more videos about Berserk, introductory gameplay and whatnot. So those are must watch for anybody that's wondering how to get into Berserk, which I play that game every day. I mean, obviously the reason I'm playing is because I'm acquiring that essential XP, which you need in this verse to level up. So Berserk is my go-to after you do your landmark run in the VulcanVerse, you do some foraging. I like to do my landmark runs and then just without even foraging, because I want to get through as fast as possible. And then what I'll do is I'll pick a spot and I'll forage while I play Berserk. And that just kind of works for me. I can kind of chill. I don't like to play Berserk while I'm doing my landmark run, because obviously, at that point it's just too much going on. You're not really enjoying either. So that's just me. But again, so the point being, and somewhere in the Discord, somebody already mentioned, it might have been Jap, that we already are up to like 10.15 million. So that rewards pool is already growing. So there is going to continue to be rewards after the 4 years. And I think I mentioned it later down in the presentation, but 4 years in crypto is a lifetime. I mean, think back to 2018, how different the crypto landscape was. So 4 years in crypto is forever. So we're just starting. So again, if you are just now watching this video, you're just learning, you're not a landowner, but you want to become a landowner, you're not really missing much. You might miss 1 month of staking or possibly 2, but you could get, say, if you miss 2 months of staking and you hurry up, you get your 10,000 XP. I think it took me 2 months to get to 10,000 XP, and that wasn't even being a total degenerate, probably playing like 2 or 3 hours every day. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but you can get in and get the next 46 months of staking. Anyways. All right, so what does this work out to be? All right, so daily rewards is 1.2 Pyre per day at 90% stake. So that's if 90% of the lands are staked, that would be 38.4 Pyre per month, or $562 using today's value. Now that's 1.28 Pyre per day at 90%. Now I multiplied that by 30 days, which is the typical days of a month. So that's how you get the number, $562 using today's Pyre value. Or it would be 1.65 Pyre per day at 70% stake, and that would be like 49.5 Pyre per month, or $724 using today's Pyre value. Again, that's per month for 1 piece of land for a qualified owner. A qualified owner, again, is somebody who has 10,000 XP. And this is assuming that 6,000 slots are sold. Okay, and sowed again means that you are not a level 1 2 land, you're a level 2 land. How do you get to level 2 land? You have to pay 50 Pyre to sow it to level 2. The nice thing is once you sow it to level 2, it always stays at level 2 unless you go up a level, and you can sell it as a sowed level 2. I mentioned that in the last video, like the level 2 sowed lands are very much in demand right now, because somebody who has 10,000 XP can immediately get that first inaugural staking reward from that sowed level 2 land. Okay, and this next breakout is from Jap's article, What If Every Land is Staked? And I like to, if I'm doing my own estimations in crypto, like if I'm doing evaluation or I'm looking into a project, I really like to take the total supply, because I feel like it helps me, come up with a nice, you know, it's a good number to use, even though you're probably lowballing yourself. It helps you better understand, the actual, market cap. So like for example, if we've all probably been in these. If you're in a crypto that only has 100 million circulating supply, but you see that the total supply is 100 billion, a billion, right? Say it's 100 million circulated and there's a billion left to come. You have to wonder, okay, well, what does that even mean? So do I feel special? There's 100 million circulating right now in this other crypto that we're imagining, and they're worth $50. Well, if the team decides for whatever reason they want to do some fundraising and they want to dump another 100 million or 200 or 300 or another 900 million into the market over the next 2 or 3 years, they're the ones that are going to be taking a lot of the profits, not you. All right. So if you just assumed, and in this breakout, that 100% is staked, you get to 21 Pyre per month. That's still, in my opinion, a huge profit. That's $307 per month based on today's Vulcan today's Pyre price, which I believe it was like $14.64. We've had a little pullback on the last day or two. So a lot of these are based on $14.64 because I wanted it to be as current as possible. Okay, so again, let's just say 100% are staked, 21 per month. So if you don't like me using 30 per month, which I'm going to get into later, that's fine. Use 21 per month, but still the same thing will be true, is that it is extremely lucrative to be a landowner in the VulcanVerse. Okay. Long-term expectancy. So this comes from Jap's article. Again, the Pyre and the rewards pool is funded for the next 4 years. We already mentioned that. That is an eternity in crypto. Like I just said, just think back to 2018, crypto, and what a different landscape it was. The rewards pool is growing. And I think like I said, 10.15 million is currently in there now. And I think that statement was from October of last year. So you would imagine with all of the activity in the Vulcan DEX and the Vulcan marketplace that number is going to be higher now. And again, I'd like to find out exactly what that number is. So it is going to be great when the actual team gives us the true numbers to go off of. And when they do that, we'll probably update this video or make a part 2 so that we can make sure that everybody is up to speed on exactly what to expect, because it's extremely important, right? Because I don't want somebody to go ahead and drop 15,000 or 20,000 on a piece of land, and you're getting back in rewards something different than you expected. So I would recommend just use the low number, use 21 as your number instead of 30 or 35, which some people are expecting to come back per month. Okay. So, and this is also important. This is extremely important, in fact, but not important for a little while. Again, so if you're new to VulcanVerse and you're not a landowner yet, you are early. Why? Because we haven't even got to level 2 yet. A lot of us have qualified for it. We have the XP for it. We're getting ready to. Staking's coming this month, blah, blah, blah. But soon, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say soon, but in a certain number of months, say it's 4 months, 5 months, and I believe Jamie has kind of, given us an idea that it might be a while until level 3 comes in, and I am totally cool with that. This is just getting the rewards pool flowing is awesome for landowners. You know, it's going to really help us validate the decision we made to become landowners in the first place. And I think once the money starts coming in, we're going to be happy to be at level 2 for a long time, build out the world in level 2 assets, wait for new people to discover. Hopefully some of the stallions that are new to the game who are earning lava are going to be able to become future landowners and whatnot. So I'm totally fine staying at level 2 for a while. But eventually, say, 5 months from now, we're going to be at level 3 land. How that will work is a level 2 land will get 1 share of the rewards pool, and level 2 land gets 1 share of the rewards pool, and level 3 land will receive 3 shares of the rewards pool. So you can do your own math by saying, because it's quite possible only half of the current landowners are going to get to level 3. Maybe some of them leave for various reasons, or they're cool with being at level 2. At that point, your level 2 rewards would dissipate as the level 3 landowners move up. Okay, but again, that's months away. So there's no real need to worry about that yet. And we are going to be here to update you as that comes in. But I can tell you that we do know now that to get to level 3, it's going to be an additional 30,000 XP you're going to need. And by the way, that's great that it's going to take 4 months, because I am going to probably need all of those months to get to level 3, because it took me like 2 months to get to 10,000. I think I'm just under 20,000 right now. So that means I'm going to need 30,000 total. So 10,000 if I'm at 10,000 additional, plus 20,000, 30,000. And then I think you're going to need 30,000 lava too. So we'll get into, we have the graph pulled up later, but that just gives you an idea of what's going to happen to get to level 3. So it truly is a play to earn economy. And Jamie has stated many times in the Discord, he does not want people accumulating rewards or being landowners if they're not going to be active. I mean, because he probably understands the metrics and the numbers that's involved here, and the system wouldn't work correctly if you could just be, a landowner, have 50 pieces of land and not really play the game. Nobody really wants that. We want to be an active, vibrant, always moving, always changing, always building type of community. Okay, so and obviously, and again, Jamie always says that they do this because they love building games. And why would they want to build games for people that aren't going to continue to play it? So I'm planning on going to level 3 and then probably level 4 at least, because at level 4 you become an Elysium node, which, besides the already talked about Pyre rewards you're going to get per month, you're going to get these from the Elysium blockchain and whatnot. So again, I use the Ethereum term. I mean, it's easy to pick off Ethereum because it's thousands of dollars, and the miners make millions and millions, but it just kind of gives you an idea. In Ethereum, those gas fees go to the miners, and in Elysium, those fees, some of them are going to come back to the landowners and who are level 4 lands or nodes on Elysium. Okay, moving on. See, I always jump forward to my bullet point. So sometimes I need to just learn to just read what I have rather than repeating myself, but I apologize. Again, it's been a while since I've done the YouTube thing, so I need to polish up, tighten up the game, and I will, I promise. So level 4, can't even spell, am I spelling correctly? Okay. Level 4 land gains an even greater share and becomes an Elysium node, which is huge, okay? That's another thing that incentivizes you to be a landowner, because who doesn't want, Elysium is going to, in my opinion, be the go-to, and I talked about it in the last video, the go-to blockchain for GameFi projects. Hustle is coming on there, Sin City, Chumby Valley, and tons more. We got partnerships. He's been, Jamie's been, hinting at a big partnership with some clothing company or something, maybe to pimp out our robes that we run around in now. But there's so much ahead for us that, again, the Elysium blockchain isn't even live yet. It's still in testnet. So there's so much yet to happen. You're watching this video. You are early and have just as much opportunity as any of us who are already in. You just got to get hold of that land. Okay, now that's why I say here. Now let's have some fun. Okay, so again, I gave you kind of the base numbers. So 30, let's play with 30 Pyre per month because that's a lot of people are expecting. So current $15-ish price would be $450 per month. Over 48 months, that'd be $21,600. So if Pyre does not move past $15, you'd get $450 per month times 48 months, or $21,600. Again, this isn't considering people leveling up and all that. So you have to understand all of that, that you have to do your own research and understand. I'm trying to do this for simplicity's sake because I have immense land FOMO, and I'm trying to share that FOMO with you. I'm trying to get you to understand why I'm so excited, why all of my extra money, why I'm dissipating so much of my other crypto portfolio and moving it into VulcanVerse land. Is because of these numbers out here, and I'm historically looking for those staking platforms in my crypto. I always want something for my participation. I don't like being a part of a crypto if they're not giving me something back, because I like to be an active member in a community, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm extremely excited by what VulcanVerse is doing. And again, they understand that the landowners are essential. It's like it's not, I wouldn't say like having added team members, but in a way it is. And if you're on the VulcanVerse Discord and you ask a question, there's a very good chance it's not going to, there's a good chance that it's going to be a mod or something answering your question, or it might even be the CEO, Jamie himself. But there's a lot of knowledgeable landowners in the VulcanVerse that, there's, again, we saw 800 of them. You have a good chance of any one of them helping you answer your questions and whatnot. They have a quote unquote stake in this, and they want to see VulcanVerse succeed, because if VulcanVerse succeeds, like many of us think it's going to, these numbers that I'm getting into are extremely possible, and maybe even more. Okay, so let's jump into the Pyre all-time high. This is just from November. So we were already at this $44 number. So if we just get back to all-time high, that would be $1,320 per month that you would be getting for one piece of land times 48 months. That's $63,000, 360 for getting your staking rewards in Pyre. Not bad, right? And that's just at all-time high, which we were already at. So, obviously, I think we're going there and then some. But try to imagine getting those type of returns from another blockchain in another way. You can make good money doing liquidity pools on Uniswap or SushiSwap. There's lots of decent, but one that I was in for a long time, recently moved out of, was Icon. That was like considered high staking rewards, 11%, APY. Which is great, but $100,000 gets you like $10,000 per year. And right now you're looking at a piece of land that might cost you $10,000 to $15,000, getting you $63,000 over 4 years, and that's just at the $44 level. Now, let's continue having fun. Pyre goes to triple digits. Nobody is here and heavily invested in the Pyre that doesn't think that we're going to hit triple digits. There's only a $50 million total supply. In the last video, when we talked about the token, we mentioned Solana. Solana has, I think, 500 million, which Solana is a great blockchain. So, Elysium is going to be a great blockchain. We're a great project. So I don't see any reason why we can't achieve exactly what they are. They're already at $160, and that's with a 500 million total supply. We have 10 times, they have 10 times more supply than we do, and we're only at $15. So $100 to me is very doable. And I'm not even going to put a timeline on it. It could happen within months. Maybe, crypto, has another drawdown, and it doesn't happen till late in the year. But I'd be surprised if we don't get to triple digits this year, or maybe even sooner. We got big announcements already upcoming. We got other, like I said, there's so much happening with Elysium. Even more happening with Pyre. As soon as more and more people learn about the taking your words coming, or they start to hear people's stories about what they're receiving, they're going to want to get a hold of a piece of land in the Vulcanverse themselves. I mean, people got rich off the Axie Infinity game, and in my opinion, this is just light years ahead of what they did there. I mean, they it's kind of like you needed to have Axie first, so we could better understand how to do it in a more sustainable way. And I think that's what the goal of the team here is with VulcanVerse, and everything that I've seen is this is a sustainable model, again, even going past that 4 years. So, all these numbers, consider that. That's just for the 4 years I'm giving. So that would be $3,000 per month, or I said or a mortgage payment. So imagine getting a mortgage payment every month from holding land. It's like reverse land taxes, right? So here in my house that I live here, I've been here for 15 years. I pay out taxes every year. I'm getting, by having my virtual piece of land in the Vulcanverse, I'm getting the reverse taxes. I'm the one getting the taxes paid to me. So how nice is that going to be for me or other landowners when my mortgage payment is paid by one piece of land that I own in the Vulcanverse? And that's just the magic of crypto, right? I mean, and you can't say, oh, that's ridiculous, it's not possible, because how many stories are there of people that had $6 Ethereum or $10 Bitcoin, or somebody who got rich owning Shiba Inu or something like that? It happens all of the time. And again, in that last Pyre video, I talk about the amount of FOMO you get from being a part of this community, being active and present in the Discord with CEO Jamie, and all the other team members. You see the team expanding. You see you see Busta Rhymes, and his Hustleverse coming in to the Vulcanverse Pyre family and community. It's just mentioned today that Sin City, which is another big metaverse game, is coming on. Those NFTs are going to be on the Vulcanverse marketplace soon. That token is going to be in the Vulcan deck. So we are so early that $100 to me per month. In fact, I would almost argue that this middle tier here of $100 per Pyre is probably what you need to use to start doing your estimations on whether it's worth it for you. Why? Because Pyre is only $15 a share, a token right now, which in my opinion is ridiculously cheap. We're ranked number 200. Okay, 200 better projects than Pyre? I don't think so. It's just not true. And I'm a longtime crypto OG. I've been doing these YouTube videos since 2017. I've been in and out of a ton of projects, and I've never ever seen anything like the potential I have in VulcanVerse. Even if I wasn't in this project, I would be looking for GameFi projects or tokens, Sandbox, Decentraland, it's set. But there's just something dynamic about what is happening here. And I guess if I have one talent, that's what it is. It's finding those type of projects, understanding. I need to know more. I need to go deeper than the white paper myself. I got to get into the white paper, and then I got to go past the white paper, and I got to say who's with me. I got to look around and see who's my participation, who's participating with me. What is this team like? Okay. And when I first got into crypto, I didn't really do that. I bought the hype. I read a tweet. I jumped in on stuff. I hoped, prayed. I'm not doing that anymore. I want to build and grind with other like-minded people. And now, after I'm addicted to having CEOs like Jamie from Vulcan Forge, who are like the hardest working people in the world. This guy is just got knee surgery last night, and he's tweeting from his hospital bed, which is ridiculous. I mean, dude, just chill out, watch a show, and just take a break. But he doesn't know how to. He cannot do it. It just doesn't seem to be in his makeup, and that is addicting. It makes you want to fight harder. This is why, again, why am I doing this video? Because I'm inspired. I'm inspired by this community. I'm inspired by the team. I'm inspired by the potential, and I'm inspired by these numbers. Who couldn't be inspired by these? So again, I think this triple digit $100 number is good for you to plan future expectations. You know, maybe this will help you. Maybe you only have one piece of land and you say, well, you know, maybe I want a second piece of land or a third piece of land. And one thing that I've said, I've been saying this in the marketplace forever, as staking rewards kick in, it's going to be the landowners like me that are going to be competing with you or that land. So if you're a non-landowner now, you are going to have to, you know, take what opportunities that you get. And in my opinion, land is probably not going to get any cheaper than it is right now, because certainly once the rewards start flowing, the prices, the floor for land, in my opinion, is going to go up. It's like, it's just math, right? It just kind of has to. You know, right now, everything's assumed and hoped and we think and all that. But until we actually see the black and white and we get the official release, you know, we can only just hope everything works that way. But there's, you know, again, you start to trust, right? You know, we had that issue in the past, this past winter, right? And we saw, like, turn a negative into a positive, where it's like, I'm even more bullish now because that happened. And I've seen a lot of people in the Twitterverse and the social media channels saying, like, holy cow, like, I have never ever seen anything handled so professionally and so well. And, you know, here we are, we're back, you know, got the fresh token, a fresh outlook, staking rewards are coming. This is a really good time to be involved in the VulcanVerse. But $3,000 per month, mortgage payment times 48, $144,000 you can expect. I mean, again, take it with a grain of salt, we're not at $100 yet. But what if, right? What if $144,000 over 4 years you get them a piece of land? I mean, that's life-changing money for some. Okay, so now the name of the channel is what? Pyre Moonshot. So of course we're gonna have to talk about the Pyre Moonshot perspective, and we defined it in the last episode as a $10 billion market cap, which again comes from Jap article, which he thinks is possible. And I agree, because even before I read that, I was expecting that VulcanVerse Pyre token has the potential to become a top 20 token. GameFi is taking over. It's moving in. It's actual blockchains that are active and doing things. You know, an interesting nugget that not everybody realizes is that the gaming industry is more lucrative and has a bigger market cap in total than the movie and the music industry combined. Consider that for a second. How much do movies make? How much does music make? Combine both of those, and you're not even to the amount of money that gaming brings in. Now, GameFi, gaming on the blockchain, play to earn, is the new thing. And I've said this many times. I don't, and you know, I have an Xbox upstairs. I have an Xbox Live account. Like, I was like, night Xbox Live launched decades ago, probably like 15 years ago. I don't even remember. No, it was a long time ago. I set it up that night. So I'm a gamer. I've always been playing games. It's really hard for me to pull myself away from the VulcanVerse and play the other games that I used to like to do. I mean, obviously it's harder too, because, you know, my daughters take a lot of my time, like I mentioned, but, you know, and I think that's only going to increase. You can sit and grind playing World of Warcraft or Fortnite, or Halo, or pick your poison, but you're paying them, they're not paying you. Now, as these games increase, as VulcanVerse continues to get better and better, we're still in beta, you're going to have so many more people wanting to get a part of that, so they can, instead of sitting there playing video games for nothing, they can play video games to earn lava. In the VulcanVerse, the lava, of course, can be converted into Pyre. Pyre, of course, can be converted into land, and then you can start to achieve some of these numbers yourself. So it's hard for me. I mean, it helps that Berserk is like just super fun and addictive. And like to me, like I like when I'm doing my landmark runs and my foraging. It's kind of like my chill out time. I put some music on, just I'll put a good show on. It's I enjoy that. I more than I would say like Fortnite and stuff. So I just think that the amount of players coming into GameFi is going to increase. The amount of players not in GameFi and in the other worlds where you got to spend $60 at GameStop to get the new latest game that's making you absolutely no money. You play it for 30 or 40 hours and then you throw it in the bin, or hope to sell it back for 20 bucks or so. Those numbers are going to go down and the GameFi numbers are going to go up. And as everybody understands, that VulcanVerse is going to be the gold standard GameFi project in crypto. We're already getting there, and it's only increasing as more and more things come on board. So Pyre Moonshot, 10 billion market cap, 40 million circulated, and we don't really have a 40 million circulating supply right now. It's like 28 million or 30 million. So I went ahead and used the 40 million circulating supply. That would be $7,500 per month, or a mansion payment. I set times 48 months is $360,000, or a large family home. So imagine being able to get some VulcanVerse land right now at these prices, $15,000, something like that, whatever it ends up being, whatever price. So like 500 times, let's just say it's okay. Yeah, really? Well, that'd be $1,000 per Pyre. You can probably get it for less than 10,000. So imagine getting a piece of land in the VulcanVerse, and then you spend 10,000 on it, and then you get $360,000 back over 4 years. Again, now we'll get into it, but you have to advance yourself through the game. So there are going to be some things that you're going to need to know, and we'll get into it. So, and then the final thing I say here, 4 digits is possible, which it absolutely is. But you're not gonna spend too much time, trying to like tell you guys, oh, we're going to $1,000 or whatever. But simple. Why do I say that? $40 billion market cap. You don't think we can get to a $40 billion market cap? I think we can get to a $40 billion market cap, especially as Elysium comes online. More and more people, we get up to 100,000 players in VulcanVerse. I think 40 billion market cap, especially with Jamie running the ship, is absolutely possible, considering our total supply is half of Ethereum. Ethereum has 100 million tokens in the supply, and they're trading at $3,000. So I'm saying that half of that supply can get to $1,000. If that were to happen, that'd be $30,000 per month times 48 months would be $1.4 million. $1.4 million for playing a video game and being a landowner in the metaverse called VulcanVerse. How does that sound? How is that for some FOMO, right? I mean, again, like I'm not, I'm not a financial analyst. I'm just a man in a hat. So take no advice from me. This is just my opinion. Go do your own research. But, I'm not making these numbers up. This is a lot of people are expecting this. There are lots of really smart people in this community that are planning on something like this happening. Again, I read Jap's article, and that's what got me into this. So the FOMO is real, and that was months and months ago that he wrote that, right? And here I am now, trying to help more people get involved. So it's an expanding, growing community. Again, this is on 30 per month, Pyre. So if you want to go to the ballpark low levels of everybody going at the same time, that's like 20 per month. So the numbers are still huge. Okay. All right. And then I said the final thing I say here in the presentation is, now consider this doesn't even I'm not even considering the returns from land rentals and lava earnings. And I will get into that in a future video. But currently, as of right now, you can rent your land to a Sedalian. Sedalian is somebody who's not a landowner. They can get into the game and they can use your land to forage for gems. They can do their landmark runs. They can do all kinds of stuff in the VulcanVerse. They can play Berserk. They can play Forge Arena. They can play Block Babies. There's more games coming online. Like I said, Troy, eventually Atlantis. You can earn land, lava as well. So you could be a landowner and then just have a bunch of, so say you own like 2 or 3 pieces of land, you could have Sedalions. At level 2, you get 2 Sedalions. Level 3, you get 3 Sedalions. I believe that's how it's going to work. And they're all earning lava for you. They can do a lava share. There's many ways to do it. It's a very awesome setup in the marketplace, the land rental marketplace, where you could either have a Sedalion just pay you in Pyre to take 100% of the lava earnings, but what's the most popular one is like a 50-50 split. So, you know, I like to, the way I think it's probably happening, and I think it could only increase. Imagine, how many people love games, but they can be from, a poor, say third world country or whatever, where $10 or $50 in a week is life-changing weekly money to them. Well, they have an opportunity to play this game and earn $100 a week or 100 lava, or more. They have an incentive to do that. Again, do they want to play VulcanVerse and run around in the VulcanVerse and earn lava that they can trade on the VulcanVerse decks for Pyre that can be converted into USD and then cashed in to pay for something they need? But to me, it makes sense that you're going to have a lot of people that, how about a poor college student or something that, college kids love to play Madden football for 6 to 8 hours a day, or Fortnite for 6 to 8 hours a day anyways when they should be in class. But, some of them might be smart and they might say, you know what, I'm just going to run on the VulcanVerse and I'm going to pay for, my spending money, my beer money by playing this game. And it's extremely possible. And that's at lava. Like, there are already people making decent amount of money with lava. It's relative, of course. When I say decent amount of money, that's different for everybody, but that's at 11 to 15 cents per lava right now. So what do you think is going to happen when, I said $100 per Pyre is kind of like, to me, I'm not going to say slam dunk, but it's kind of a slam dunk. Then is it 50 cents per lava? Is it $1 per lava? So these numbers even go up. And there's, the supply of lava now is like, I don't know. I think that somebody said the market cap for it was like 1 million, 1.2 million or something just for lava now. That's insane. I mentioned that in Discord earlier. My first incarnation of the Moonshot channel was the Neo Moonshot, and they had a dual token mechanism, Neo and Gas. And when Neo hit its all-time high around $200, I really think there was a time when Gas, which was like $1 token, went up to like $50. It might have even hit 100. I don't remember, but the point was, it's a market. Anything could happen. How about when we move from level 2 to level 3? You're going to need 30,000 lava to upgrade. Now imagine landowners at that time wanting to get that lava. They're going to get onto that deck, so they're going to start bidding it up. So even if it's still 15 to 20 cents at that time, I would imagine that it's going to probably double that or triple that as more landowners, try to qualify for that next upgrade to level 3. Otherwise, it could be quite expensive to pay for that. So those are and those are the things that you have to consider. It's not like you just hold the land and you get the money. You have to play to earn, and you have to level yourself up. Sowing the land costs money. You don't get it back. 50 for level 2, which all of my land is level 2. Anybody who has level 2 land has already paid the 50 to stake it, or they bought it as a level 2 land. Level 3 will be 100. So that that Pyre comes out, and for land, when you sow your land, you don't get that money back. That again goes into the future rewards pool. Some of it goes into the project, right? But the Pyre that you pay, like the 50 Pyre, you're going to be at level 2, 100 at level 3. That's soft lock, so you get all of that back. So that you decide to sell your land and move on, you're going to get all that back. Again, and then this is something I've been in this debate a lot with people on the marketplace Discord who want to be just the straight Pyre hoppers. And every time they do their equations and they talk about, being locked up in land when Pyre has its moonshot and whatnot, they always seem to forget, or they don't calculate as a variable, the fact that after all of this is done in 4 years, that piece of land is still yours. You're still, say we're at level 4 in 4 years. You say you're a level 4 landowner in 4 years. You're still owning land that's getting monthly rewards from the added pool that's being pulled in right now. You're still getting rewards for being a node on Elysium. And it's still your piece of land to live at in the VulcanVerse metaverse and then sell. So you can collect this for 4 years and then sell it. You know, maybe the price is down a touch because the reward pool isn't as high. We don't really know, or it could be another 10 million, you know, over time. Or maybe it's only $1 million, but that's, you know, at Pyre at $200 or $300 a share. Again, a lot of it, you know, you have to, you know, kind of like look ahead to what's going to happen. But the fact is, it's still your piece of land. So after you've collected all of this, it's still yours to sell. So you can collect all of this and then turn around and sell it for maybe 100 grand or 200 grand or whatever it is. You know, so that's important. So, all right. So the next thing, you know, just I wanted to pull this here again. I have to assume some of you may not know what I'm talking about. So this is just on the marketplace. So this is the market.vulcanforged. These are all the current pieces of land that are for sale. So 600, it gives you an idea on the Pyre price. Starting bid, who knows if what's they're actually going to go for? 665 Pyre, 698 Pyre. The floor does seem to be rising quite a bit. I like that. Here's somebody selling 2 pieces of land right by Vulcan City. Nice lot, 1900. Here's somebody who's 2 pieces down the bottom of Hades for 1500. 1500 for 2 here. So, you know, $600-700 per piece of land right now seems to be about what the floor is. And I'm not even sure if any of these are staked. So if you click on one of these, so let's take a look at this one. This one's interesting. I wouldn't mind getting myself one near the water and kind of starting to look at those, but I don't have any yet. Buy now price is set. This is all awesome. So you have when you have a market, you have a Vulcan Forged account, which is your wallets that holds all your Pyre, your lava, and whatnot. You can transfer that to an auction wallet instantly. And that auction wallet lets you get involved. Or if it's your land, you can make an auction any way you want. You can do an auction that's 30 days, 1 day. You can start it at 0 if it's a long one and do 50, you know, bid increments. Or you can do, and I think in a future video, maybe we'll talk about some of the, like, you know, tips and tricks of the marketplace that some of us have, you know, that I've learned through other people or developed myself. But, you know, this is plot number 84 in Arcadia. This could be yours for, you want to buy it now for 750 Pyre. Does it show whether it's sowed? No, it doesn't show that right now. But just assuming it's level 1. So it gives you an idea on the current pricing in the market. Show you some more. What else we got? So there's some in Boreas. But definitely the floor seems to be rising, which is good. Good news for landowners. And I think it's only going to continue to go up as we move forward. And then just one tip for VulcanVerse land. Well, that's not the one I had up there. Here it is. So I like to do this kind of just when I check in, you know, every night or so to see the activity page. So where instead of explore, you click on activity, and then you can see how you can slide this over. This shows you the land. You slide that over, you can click on the status of sold. This actually shows you the most recent ones that were sold, and that gives you a good idea on what the current pricing is. So one sold for 674, 750, 750. Somebody got a great deal here at 520. Congratulations. 575, 540. So again, you know, there's still great opportunities, and it's possible somebody could buy this for 520. They can sow it and then turn around and sell it for, say, 680 or 700. I mean, there are games to be played if you're not wanting to be a staker, a landowner. You don't have your 10,000 XP. So, but it just shows you what kind of a vibrant market we have in VulcanVerse land right now. And then, you know, so the last thing I had here was, this is JAP's article. So it's March 24th, 2021. The reason I pulled this up is because this is cool. This is this land map. So each one of these quadrants, or each one of these squares is a piece of land, right? So they have a land map explorer. I don't think I have that pulled up right now, but you can search various lands. Some of them are buffed. Any of the lands around the landmark typically are buffed. They have special characteristics. They give you a better ability to attack in game, or foraging, defense. So a lot of people like to have buff lands, but again, it's not essential. Every land is equal in terms of the amount of Pyre it can receive in staking rewards. But Vulcan versus the blockchain powered virtual world set in the Greco-Roman era. The world size is 3K 3km divided into 4 quadrants. So there are 9,918 plots available in the verse. So again, I'm giving you the estimate numbers. There it is, 9,918 plots. So they're never going to be any more minted than that. So it's not like, and again, the Troy land sale is upcoming, but those lands are quite different than VulcanVerse land, is that you will never get staking rewards from them, which again is why Jamie, the CEO, constantly tells everybody to get more land, because VulcanVerse land is the most essential NFT in the game. Okay, each plot's unique NFT traded in the marketplace. We went over that. This is some of the views, like in game, you doing your landmark run. Sometimes you just trip out on how beautiful the game is, and it's always it's getting better all of the time. The amount of devs that are working on this and building it out, it's just mind blowing. Every time they do an update, you get more. The world just gets cooler and cooler and cooler. They're adding fine details everywhere, and that's just the devs themselves. But some of the cool things that's happening is landowners are getting creative themselves. You have some landowners that are making quests for people. They're doing weekly. There's rewards for them. There's people that are building mazes in the game. They're quite popular recently is battle arenas, because in the game you can battle your Vulcanites in game to get extra XP, which again, XP is the essential counting indicator in the game, because you can't even get rewards until you get to 10,000 XP. You can't get to level 3 until you put in an additional 30,000 XP. So they've built, they're on their own without the team being involved. They've built battle arenas, in one quadrant or the next. Eventually, you're going to have probably battles between quadrants. There's already kind of like a fun little smack talk that goes on between Arcadia and Hades and Boreas and Hades and Notice and Hades. Like basically nobody really likes Hades, but I think the people at Hades like that. They appreciate that. They kind of get off on that, so that's for them. And again, you can play. He mentioned the game can be played without owning land. You can be a Sedalian. You can rent land to earn lava, and then use the lava eventually to become a landowner. Again, time is of the essence, because I think the land prices are only going to continue to increase. Okay. And then, there's lots of good actual gameplay videos. Again, Berserk, watch Lumpy Land's videos. There's a lot of people that do builds and stuff in there. So that's not really my forte. I'm not creative, but some of the things that people are doing is amazing. So imagine kind of like the Minecraft capabilities, taking your piece of land. Every level that you go up gives you more capabilities. You can dig deeper, you can build higher, you get more materials. And then while you're foraging, okay, with your Vulcanite, you earn materials that you can use to build. You can also, there's going to be a marketplace in Troy, so you can take your materials and sell them for lava. And this is all upcoming. So again, if you're watching this, you're early. But just besides all of the earning potential we've talked about, I mean, it's an amazing and addictive and fun game that has a community unlike anything I've ever seen. It's funny, sometimes you do your landmark runs, and a lot of times you're probably the Sedalians and stuff, because while you're foraging in the game, you can earn, beyond earning very valuable mythic items like diamonds, topaz, and jade, which are going to be the most valuable. You can actually, there's a wallet the team set aside, which is absolutely brilliant. They set aside NFTs that you can discover in game, which happens all the time. You'll see people post it to the Discord. You can actually find a valuable NFT in the game. It pops up and says, here it is. The NFT goes into your wallet. If you want, you can take that NFT, go right to the marketplace and sell it for Pyre, right? So, you know, and phishing is coming. So, you know, I think that's actually um, uh, a crowd pleaser. I'm not a fisher myself, but a lot of people just like to just chill and fish. I can absolutely imagine seeing many people in game standing there at the port and fishing, trying to fish for NFTs. And I believe the team said it's going to be a separate NFT wallet. So, you know, imagine fishing for an NFT, you pull it in, boom, you know, your NFT could be worth 15 to 50 or even more Pyre. Which you can immediately sell into, you know, on the decks and get it into USD if you want. So how many games, like, can you do that in Fortnite, right? Can you go in Fortnite and 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 find an NFT you can sell for USD? Absolutely not. It's a great business model. It's exciting, and it's addictive. You'll, like I was saying before, you go by. I'll do my landmark run, and there'll be certain plots. There'll be 40 or 50 people standing on the plot because they feel like that's like the diamond plot or the jade plot, or, you know, somebody found an NFT there. So, you know, everybody has their own strategies. There's people that, like, they write down, like, okay, they have their, like, little notebooks and stuff. Like, okay, I found jade here on this date and stuff. It's fantastic. Terramorphing. Just go and look at some of the things that some of these creative people have done in the game. It's absolutely amazing. Terramorphing is one of the advanced parts of the Vulcan engine, allowing you to morph the grass, sand, soil, and snow into any sculpture you wish with your simple clicks to the mouse. Like that. Again, here's some pictures. Just getting an idea on the beauty of this game. And this is in Arcadia here, but you can see beautiful landscapes and Boreas, whatever your flavor is. Quadrants, we kind of went into that. We showed that map already. What else we got? Land of Hades, Gardens of Arcadia. That's my favorite. Boreas is a lot of people's favorite. Like the Game of Thrones. Notice ancient Egypt, right? I love Notice. Sowing and staking land. We kind of went into all that. 3 stages to sow, yada yada. So I think that's it. This seems like a really long video already. But again, read Jap's articles. I linked them in my last video. Oh yeah, here, we'll get into this real quick. This is just a good aside. So level 1, everybody's at a level 1 to start. Level 2 is which we're all trying to get to. That's where you start getting your rewards. So in order to stake at level 2, you already sold your land to 50 Pyre. You paid that already. You have to pay 50 lava, and then you have to pay 50 Pyre. Now this 50 Pyre is soft lock, and we believe this level 2 is going to be where we are for several months. So it's not like you got to worry about somebody jumping quickly to level 3. But a lot of us are planning on getting, moving up a level. So at level 3, you have to pay an additional 100 Pyre to level your land up. That again goes into the future rewards pool, into other things that are going to be used to build out the project. And then 100 lava, and then 100 Pyre. I believe that do not take these numbers as gospel though, because I believe these have changed. I think it's actually like quite a bit more lava now to pay. So we'll look at that, but it gives you an idea, right? And you just keep going, and it goes all the way up to level 7. At level 7, it's going to cost 600 Pyre just to stake your land. But again, imagine the land share you're going to be getting back. Imagine the returns you'll be getting back. So there's some people that are even debating how many people are going to want to get to level 7, whether it's going to be worth it. There's people that have multiple plots. So say you have 10 plots. Are you going to be able to pay 10 times 600, 6,000 Pyre to level all your plots up? Maybe not. You might have to sell 1 or 2 of those and have, 8 level 7 lands or 6 lands. But again, that's probably a couple years away. Not anything that needs to be worried right now. Because again, we're all just waiting to get to level 2. But anyways, yeah, he's got that's cool. He's got the land. He's got the link for the Land Explorer here. So 3159, that's mine, and one of mine in Arcadia. So it shows you, you got my land in Arcadia. It shows you where it is. There it is, that little black dot right there. I get plus 13 attack, and I get plus 5 rare item foraging probability. These buffs are not built in yet. They're coming soon. But that gives you an idea of the game mechanics and how we're going to advance as we move forward. But I have been talking for a long time. But again, thank you for watching. Look forward to doing the next one. And cheers. If you're watching this, I really appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for the support on the last one. Everybody who watched it, commented. I know a lot of the OGs, gave me some nice comments on the Discord. I really appreciate that. We are a really awesome community here. And it really is unique to see people propping each other up. And I think that's only going to continue because there's something about this project, this VulcanVerse, this Pyre token, and this team that brings in a like-minded people, people that I really respect and like to be a part of in a community. But again, thanks again for watching. I really hope this video worked. Otherwise, I wasted a lot of time. But again, thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next one.